Hello, everyone. Nice to see you again. I am reading a just released book a couple of days ago called Playing at the Border. And it's the story of Yo-Yo Ma, a story of Yo-Yo Ma. It is written by Joanna Ho. She's the one who wrote Eyes That Kiss in the Corner, which I loved. I recorded that a few months ago. And the illustrator is Teresa Martinez, and I've never heard of her. I'm very impressed with the drawings I've seen so far, so I hope I see more from her. And it is a Harper Collins Publishers book, so I'm reading it with their permission. And there's a whole other language. I wish I understood that language. Playing at the Border, a story of Yo-Yo Ma. On the banks of the Rio Grande, feet planted on the soil of one nation, eyes gazing at the shores of another, Yo-Yo Ma played a solo, accompanied by an orchestra of wind and water. Wow. I like the way she puts her words together. Fed by the snow-capped mountains of Colorado and flowing into the Gulf of Mexico, the Rio Grande became a boundary dividing two countries that used to be one. Do you know what those two countries are? I'll let you think about it. And there he is playing, and his music is traveling all the way to the other country. Yo-Yo Ma made music on riverbanks that separated people into Mexican-American, citizen, immigrant. Though they, we, were, are one. I think I've read that wrong. Though we are one, though they were one. Look how they did that. They put these in a odd shape, and I haven't heard anybody else read the story, so I'm not sure how to read that. But I think the idea is we are all one. Feet planted on the soil of one nation, facing the shores of another. Yo-Yo Ma closed his eyes as music poured from his heart through his hands. Ooh, wow. I really like the way she words things. And I always wanted to play a musical instrument, always. For this reason, I just feel like you talk from your heart and your hands while you play an instrument. I wonder if you all play instruments. I tried. I've got to try again. He was a prodigy who chose the cello because the double bass or the double bass was too big. And he played Bach, but could barely see above the kitchen table. Precise placement of his fingertips produced perfect notes, memorized when he was 4. 3 years before he performed for Presidents Eisenhower and Kennedy, 26 years before he won his first Grammy. Wow. I didn't know that about him. I didn't know he could play at age 4. That's pretty amazing. 47 years before he became a United Nations Messenger of Peace. And 52 years before he accepted the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Well, I'll try that again. 52 years before he accepted the Presidential Medal of Honor. Oh, I got to say it again. 52 years before he accepted the Presidential Medal of Freedom. There he is. I remember that day. I did see this little ceremony. But I didn't know he started so young. So he played for it says 3 presidents here, but I'm sure he played for the presidents in between Kennedy and Obama. Wait, wow, this isn't working. There we go. Born in France to Chinese parents and raised in the United States, Yo-Yo Ma challenges convention and weaves words together. He designed a garden set to song. United musicians across the Silk Road. Wow. I didn't realize he was born in France either. And translated classical sounds into hip-hop movements. He finds home at the intersections of cultures where traditions are kept alive and new ideas are born. So as you all know, most people don't consider hip-hop and classical to be comparable, to be able to come together, but he proved them wrong. Feet planted on the soil of one nation, eyes gazing at the shores of another. Yo-Yo Ma guided his bow gracefully back and forth across the strings of his cello. Built in Italy, his cello was made from parts that came from lands of many languages. Oh my gosh, I'm learning so much. The stick of the bow, from a tree grown only in Brazil. The hair of the bow, from a horse's tail in Mongolia. The ebony frog, from a forest in West Africa. The cello wood's reddish hues dyed with dragon's blood from Indonesia, and its curly accents created with curry powder from India. I wonder what the ebony frog is. I don't know the part of a cello. Do you all know? It says reddish hues dyed with dragon's blood from Indonesia. I'm sure dragon's blood is a plant. But what is the ebony frog? Perhaps it's this whole shape right here. I'm guessing, but I'm trying to figure it out from the words. Sometimes you have to do that when you read a story. Pieces united in one instrument, one language, and nicknamed Petunia. So that's the name of his cello that he is using. Feet planted on the soil of one nation, eyes gazing at the shores of another, Yo-Yo Ma coaxed Petunia's strings to sing box cello suites. Their notes danced over rocks and rivers and walls into the sky. Wow, that's a nice image. Teresa Martinez did a wonderful job of showing it dancing over rocks and rivers and walls into the sky. Composed in Germany 300 years before, it swooped and soared, whirled and twirled over the Rio Grande. This music was nearly forgotten. It was rediscovered in a secondhand store in Spain, then recorded, revived more than 2 centuries after it was written. Goodness, I cannot stop learning new things. Its notes reached through time, alive. Rediscovered in a secondhand store in Spain. Goodness gracious, I'm glad that person, the right person, found it in Spain. Because if someone else had found it, I wonder if it would have been played again and again. Fingers flying over 4 strings, Yo-Yo Ma made improbable melodies, a harmony of notes, a symphony of sound. From a single cello. I'm looking at the faces of the people who are watching him. And they are really, look at this little girl. I think they're just entranced by his music. So a person from another country playing music for a person in another people in another country. What a beautiful sight. He played at the border between nations, between cultures, between languages, between centuries, and built a bridge. Of course, he didn't build one by hand, but he built a bridge. A bridge connects 2 sides together. So he is connecting cultures and nations and languages by playing his music. The end. Doesn't that make you want to play an instrument? I really did try. My hands couldn't do it. My brain couldn't do it. But I'm going to try again. I think we all should try. Try things that are hard and challenging. What a lovely book. I'm so glad I bought it. Yay to Joanna Ho and Teresa Martinez, and of course to Yo-Yo Ma. Thank goodness for all these artists in this world. Thank you for joining me. Until next time.